Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in my previous video, I had mentioned that I wanted to talk about how my daughter and my boyfriend, started getting along and how we met. So, so we met on social media. I know. Not a lot of people are, you know, do, they don't like that or whatever. But we met on social media. So thing is, I'm not gonna get into like full detail about it, but um, so at the time, my boyfriend and we were both working night shifts. He was working somewhere different at the time, and his schedule was kind of messed up. So he was working like 1 week night and then 1 week morning, 1 week night and then 1 week morning. So that's how his schedule was. Um, and I remember at the time I was working in a warehouse, and for a lot of you that worked in warehouses before, um, you guys know that sometimes they have you guys working over through the weekends or in holidays. Sometimes it just depends. um, and in my case I was working holidays and weekends. So there was days where you know like okay, like, never mind, I'm sorry. So me and him, right, we started messaging each other, and we got along pretty well. you know from the we like hit it off pretty fast. And I noticed, you know um oh, and real quick, I did, as soon as like we he messaged me, I mentioned my daughter, because I wanted him to know that I come with a package and it's just not me. So from there, he kind of, we started texting. He didn't like, it didn't seem like it bothered him or whatever. So, um, but yeah, like I realized like we started messaging for quite some time, like before we actually made things, before we started hanging out, like, and we lived in the same city, by the way. It wasn't like, he was somewhere else and I was somewhere else. No, we lived in the same area. Little did I know, but we did. Um, so he's like, oh, well, let's hang out. So, and just to let you guys know that we were messaging each other first for a while before we hung out. And before we kind of, like when we started making plans to hang out, I couldn't really hang out with him. Like every time he would have a day off, I would have to work. And then there was days where I would work. I mean, I would have a day off, but he wouldn't, and he would have to work. So it was kind of like that back and forth for a while. And we finally hung out like after 6 months of, messaging each other back and forth. And it wasn't just on social media. We finally like swapped numbers, like cell phone numbers. We would like text each other there. Um, but yeah, so we finally had the chance. I told them, I think it was around Thanksgiving, that I was gonna have it off. And I told him like, okay, I'm gonna have 2 weeks off pretty soon. Like, let's hang out. Let's do it already. So yeah. And then he was gonna have the 2 weeks off also. So we planned it out, and oh my god, I was so nervous. Like I had butterflies. I was just nervous, like I was, oh my god. And then like to me, like he was like the cutest guy. So, and like in my eyes. And so I was nervous, and and it's crazy because we had planned to go to the movies and like a few other things, but it didn't work out as planned. And we ended up like in a mountaintop. A lot of people hang out up there, so we weren't like the only ones. And it's crazy. So we ended up getting like some snacks and drinks. And I swear to you, we were up there all night. Like, and I'm talking about like we had conversations for days. We talked and talked and talked, and like time went by so fast that we didn't even realize that By the time we like looked around, it was already like the sun was going up, like it was coming up already. So we were like, oh my god, um, like the cheese man was good at. Just kidding. There was no cheese man. It was just like we clicked so well, and like we like we had a lot in common. We talked about our goals, and like I love that. Like a guy who has goals is a plus. Like and then someone who's very dedicated and all that stuff is a plus. So for me, like we had all these things in common. We related in a lot of things that we didn't even realize, and like it just went off. It just went so well, and I'm happy. Like I just remember him telling me like, let's go get breakfast. So we went to get breakfast, and we were still right there like talking and talking. Um, and then he dropped me off, and we're like, we have to get together again. Like like it went so well. Like we just have to get together again. Um, and yeah, from there we started hanging out a lot more when we would get like days off, and it's crazy because after that we did start having a lot more days off, which was you know it was a good thing, but like me and him would work so much, and we just both started getting days off, like like no one's been there, so that was cool. Um, and so we were like that for a while, right? We would hang out for a while. We would like he would take me out to go eat. He would take me out to the movies and like stuff like that. Um, and then like one day we did make it like well he made it like official, and that was nice. And I'm not gonna go into detail with that, but we had made it official, and it was already over. I don't know, maybe like after I don't know, like 7, 8 months, I would say, of talking, we made it official. So by then, my daughter was already 2. That's why every time I bring it up, I say that we started talking when she was 2, because we were talking when she was a year old, but we made it official when she was around 2, and but yeah, so with that said, one day, like I don't know if it was like a special occasion. I just remember we went out for a nice dinner, and I don't know if it was our anniversary or what. I can't really remember from the top of my head, but I know that around that time, because mind you that I did mention to him like after we made it official and stuff that like I asked him if he can give me time on for him to get to know my daughter, because I didn't want like my daughter to get attached. Like I explained to him and everything, and he was okay with it. He agreed too, but he did bring it up, and like I was happy that he brought it up and everything, but I was just kind of like things were going so well with us that I just didn't want to get my hopes up or my daughter's hopes up, and like you just never know. So I asked him for some time, and then yeah, one day, again he asked me. He's like, "Well, I'm ready," and like I'm ready to meet Paris. That's my daughter's name, and I was like, "Okay, let's do it. Let's do something." So he did tell me like one day, like it was like over the weekend, like let's get her ready and let's go somewhere. So we went out, went to like go play some games and stuff, and oh my god, I felt so happy because my daughter looked really happy, and then so did he. Like and I was just a little nervous because she was like in her trouble twos, and like, oh my god. Oh, so she was a little handful at the time, but you know what? I'm just happy that they both got along. I'm just laughing, guys, because I just remember like how his little reactions, like his face expressions. But you know what? I loved it because he looked happy. Like he looked like he was getting along with her really well. And then like I was happy that seeing my daughter happy too. So it was like a cute moment that they had, like, and little by little my daughter would talk to me about him, like, "Mom, are we gonna go out with Louis?" Because she would call him Louis in the beginning, obviously. Um, and I was like, "Yeah, mommy, we're gonna go out with him like soon, don't worry." And then he would tell me. So me and him would kind of like we had like a routine. So it was me and him going out, and then like the next day it was all of us three will go out somewhere, do something, you know, um, and yeah, so I just remember like one day my boyfriend was like, "Oh, like let's go to the park," you know. So we went to the park where there was like a nice lake and um, ducks and stuff like that. So it was really like a really nice park. So we took her scooter and like they were like both bonding there, and out of nowhere, like my daughter just calls him dad, and we both kind of gave each other that look, like we looked at each other, like we locked eyes, and we are like, oh my god. Um, like I thought I was like tripping at first. Like I thought I heard her like or misheard, but no, we both like heard it, and like it made me happy, but then it made me feel like I had like these mixed emotions because like I was happy that she called him that, but at the same time I was just nervous, like you know, because you just never know what can happen, and my daughter, it seemed like she was already getting like attached to him. But you know what? I noticed that he was getting attached to her too, so it was like both ways, you know, and I love that. Um, but yeah, so me and him had a talk, and like he told me, "Did you hear your daughter? Like she called me dad." Like, but he was happy. Like he said it like he was happy, and it made me happy to see him happy. You know that she called him dad, and so that made me happy. Oh my god! Well, you guys get the point. And then like, but anyways, like I said, it was like a mixed emotions thing because you never know, and like seeing both of them attached, you know, it was a good feeling. So anyways, but yeah, so little by little, you know, like I said, we were just, you know, we all got along pretty well, and um, so I'm not thinking what else to say because I brought up how we met and stuff, and then how my daughter. Oh yeah, so little by little, um, we started getting to know his side of family, and I'm so blessed because the mom, you know, she had like open arms for my daughter. She welcomed her and myself, and it was a good feeling. And my daughter still talks to her other side of family. She, you know, that's never going to be an issue. It's like she's has a right to see the family, and she, you know, but this is her family too now. Like I feel like I'm so blessed, and she's so blessed because like how we met and everything, just everything kind of just fell into place, and I couldn't have had it like any other way because I loved how everything just came about, you know. Um, and I remember actually, and I'm sorry, babe. He's probably gonna see this video. I'm like, why did you say that? But when we made it, well, when we both made it official, whatever, as dating, like he had so many messages from his friends because. So my boyfriend told me, I never brought this up, but he's like, I've always said that I would never date a girl with kids. And I get it, you know, there's some guys that they can't do it, and it's fine, it's normal. But there's a lot out there that will, okay, ladies? But anyway, so he had told me that, right? And I was just like, oh my god. I was like, well, that's why you never say never, because now look at you, you know. But you know what? I'm happy. I'm like, he's happy. He never thought that he would date a person with kids, and I just have one right now. And yeah, we've talked about kids, by the way, but that's another thing because I'm not gonna get into detail with that. But just know that we both want some kids. But anyways, I'm gonna cut this video short just because this video was mainly about like how we met, how him and my daughter started getting along. Um, and on my previous video, I did mention that I wanted to talk about me being pregnant at a young age, and that's also gonna be like a long story time kind of. So I would save that for a different video. Um, but yeah, guys, so thank you so much for watching. And if you guys come across this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment, and let me know some of your feedback. Let me know what you guys thought about this video, and what else would you like to know about me personally, or like my daughter. Like I know that one day I'll bring her on here and like introduce you guys to her. And then maybe my boyfriend. I'm not 100%. On my previous video, I realized that I said that I was gonna introduce him that video or something. Well, that's what it seemed like, but that's not what I meant. What I meant was in a video, not that specific video, but sometime soon, if he's up for it, then I'll introduce him as well. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys another time. Bye.